the handbook for post-menopausal females and what do you need to know for the top 6, health issues or complaints, and how to manage them now that you're post-menopause, which is different than when you were younger. Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize every body 50, 60, 70, and above. Hi, everybody, and welcome to your second 50. If you are joining me on this episode, then you are in my series on what's the guidebook for women post-menopause. There's a lot of information out for women who are going through perimenopause, where, estrogen is labile, which means goes up and down at random. You don't have any sort of a cycle anymore. You never know what's coming. It's erratic. You have hot flashes. You can't sleep, cravings, hunger, food management, mood management, all sorts of craziness. And then, things calm down and you're in a new state, post-menopause. And it's different than pre-menopause or before perimenopause. And you need some operating guidelines for the new you, because this is the way you're going to be till, you pass this existence. There's no more radical changes from a hormonal point of view. And I see a lot of information out on perimenopause, but what about post-menopause? All right, so that's what this series is about. It's my guidebook for women post-menopause. And what are the 6 most salient, most important things that affect us that are different now than they were when we were younger and even when through perimenopause, so that we have the right information for make behavioral changes that will keep us in a body that feels great, looks great, and will, be the new operating system as we go into our 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. All right. So this is episode number 5 in this 6-part series. And today, what I want to talk about is lean muscle. Okay. Some radical changes happen when you're in post-menopause regarding your lean muscle. So let me back up into pre-menopause, pre-perimenopause. When we were younger women, we had estrogen and other hormones that are circulating around on a regular basis, but estrogen was at its, regular cycle. And estrogen would help us to maintain the muscle that we have in our bodies, even if we were doing nothing to maintain it, like in terms of exercise, weight training, or body resistance workouts, or things like that. Estrogen kind of kept your muscle where it was. There was little less degrading, even if you were just doing everyday activities and lifting things and moving things around in your everyday life. Post-menopause, you don't have that estrogen anymore. And so what that means is that if you are not now actively loading your muscles, which, by the way, the muscles attached to bones. So when you're actively loading your muscles, you're also getting a secondary benefit of actively loading your bones, which is also an issue in post-menopause. But I covered that in the episode right before this one, so go back and watch that one. But anyway, the muscles, if you are not actively loading them in post-menopause, then you are losing. You're not maintaining. You are losing muscle mass. All right. And, most women are like, well, I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger anyway, so that's not a big deal. Maybe my bones, yes, but the muscles I'm okay with. But 2 reasons why I'm going to say, yes, that would be the wrong approach. The first reason is what you're doing with your muscle in your 50s and 60s is an investment in whether or not you will be in a wheelchair or unable to move yourself through time and space in your 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. And I'm sure everybody listening to this wants to be self-ambulatory, doesn't want to be with assisted devices or limited to, going up and down stairs or going to the bathroom by yourself, any number of the activities of everyday life. So if you're in your 50s and 60s right now in the beginning of your post-menopausal state, it is imperative, I can't say this enough, imperative that you are now adding in some sort of a weekly practice of resistance training, whether that be your own body and gravity, but really you need to add more weight than what you do in your everyday life, moving your body around, so that you are blocking the loss. I'm not even talking about gaining muscle now, blocking the loss. And that, my friends, and my women friends, is why the strength training, I get it. I have a lot of clients that I don't like it, I don't want to do it. I'm the same way. I'm a cardio junkie. I hate weight training. But you know what? I teach classes so that I have to force myself to do that loading, even though I don't like it, because I've made a commitment. okay, to the people who come to the workout. And I'm doing that workout with them. So they follow the leader kind of thing. All right. So you got to find a way around your own resistance if you're not really into the weight training yourself, because it's not an option. It's kind of like if someone says to me, I'm tired. I don't want to breathe anymore. I've been doing it all my life. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm older now. I'm like, well, that's fine. I get that you don't want to do it, but if you stop, you'll die. And that's a metaphor. Obviously, no one's going to stop breathing, but you get the point. The point is, it's not an option to breathe. Like, you might not like to do it, but regardless of whether you like to do it or not, I don't have the time to do it. Come on. I'm telling you, it is an imperative. You have to do it unless you're planning to pass, at 65 years old. All right. It is an investment in your ability to live the highest quality of existence as you are aging beyond 60. All right. And then the second reason is I have clients. I have many, not many. I have clients that are females that go into post-menopause, and they'll say to me, I weigh the same. This is not the most common. Most women tell me they've gained weight and it's all in the belly, and they feel mushy, and that's the most common. But I do have women who say to me, I weigh the same. Actually, this is men. I have a lot of men who also have hormonal changes, not menopause, obviously, but they'll say to me, I weigh the same as I did, 20 years ago. And I believe them that this can happen, where you weigh the same weight on the scale at 60 or 65 that you weighed when you were 45. However, the scale weight isn't telling you body composition. And I guarantee you, if someone says to me they weigh the same as they did 20 years before post-menopause, and we do their body composition, they weigh the same on the scale, but they have less muscle and more body fat. And so therefore it looks different to them. And that's usually what drives them in if they do weigh the same. But like I said, most of the time people weigh more. But and as an example for why I'm telling you have to do the resistance training is because right now, not even investing in the future, it's not just weight control that we're after in postmenopause. It is body composition. I am so excited to announce your second 50.life. I have been working in the fitness industry with individuals, both men and women, over 50 years old for 42 years, and really specialized in the last 10 on over 50. I'm over 50 myself by a long shot. And I've helped literally thousands of men and women both to lose the extra body fat that they gain in the second half of their life. 2, feel better in their own bodies energetically. I have helped people to reverse and eliminate health problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetes, symptoms of menopause, to name just a few. On this platform, you will have access to an entire body of resources, exercise videos, mini courses, eating plans that are specially designed for over 50 men and women because there's special needs for our demographic. And in addition to the virtual resources that you'll have access to if you join at any time that you'd like, you also have access to me for one-on-one coaching through a group coach call every month. So you can bring your specifics and we can address those as you're also getting information that is specific to the over 50 population. 50s, 60s, 70s, and now 80s is the demographic that I'm working with. So it's your second 50.life, YOURSECOND 50.life. Go check it out. It might be the single best thing that you've looked at like in your second 50s. So you can weigh 145 pounds and have 30% body fat and very low muscle and look and feel a certain way. Or you can be the same weight on the scale and have 25 or 22% body fat and then more muscle, same weight on the scale. Those two women are going to look completely different, even though they're the same height and the same age and the same weight on the scale. And so therefore, the second reason why you want to do the resistance training is because you want to look and feel your best right now. And if you're not doing some sort of a weight workout regime, then you are not going to feel that way because you're going to have more body fat and decreasing muscle right now, which might not affect your function for another, 5-10 years, but it's going to affect the way you feel and look in your clothes. how much you want to be seen by the outer public. You want to keep yourself in your house more. I don't want to get dressed. I don't like the way I look. I'm feeling weak and I get winded walking up a hill. These are the kind of things that I'll hear. And it's partly because they're decreasing in muscle mass. So we have to do some sort of a strength workout. All right. Lots of information on the internet about this. It's a fairly complex issue. So you've got to get the right information, but I'm going to kind of succinctly give you the Cliff Note version right now. You have to do one of two things. You have to either load heavy for you. All right. And fail, like get to the point where it's almost too heavy to lift, by about 10 to 12 repetitions. Okay. Or you have to do more repetitions, but you have to get rubbery and feel like you're shaking it if you did a couple more, and fail at about 20 repetitions, but not too light of a weight. So you have to, I could use a weight and do shoulder reps like this, and I could go on forever if I had 5 pounds in my hand. But if I had 15 or 12 pounds in my hand, I'd be going, and then I wouldn't be failing, but it would be like, it would be like, I feel like, like rubbery. So both of those, kind of getting that rubbery kind of feeling with more reps, but still a pretty good weight. Or like I can do one and maybe I can get one more and then that's it. I got to take a break. That's failure. You got to hit and doing that at about 10 reps. You got to hit one of those two protocols on your major muscle groups. So what is that? Your chest, your upper back, your legs, the front and the back. And the back would include your butt. All right. So it's not like a huge amount of exercises. 4, a chest press, a one-arm row with dumbbells if you don't have access to machines, a squat and a deadlift or a hamstring curl of some sort. Those are the major muscle groups. That's 4 exercises. You have to do 3 sets at either 20 reps to rubbery with a weight that gets you to that, or 10 reps to failure and a weight that gets you to that. All right. And again, I know that's what? That's kind of, a fast kind of Cliff Note version, but just put it simply, 4 exercises, 3 sets to some sort of a rubbery or failure. In the lower reps is 10, or the higher reps is 20. And doing that for each body part 2 times a week minimum. And you're covered. You're going to then hold your muscle. You're not going to lose more muscle. All right. And that is the goal. All right. Some people want to gain muscle. That you got to work with somebody. You got to call me up and get a remote training session, or, use the other things in my, on this, Your Second 50 platform, where I have strength training, videos, exercise videos, a reason for subscribing to that platform. I'm addressing all things having to do with over 50 for men and women, the exercise, the eating, the psychological, the social, all things related to optimal well-being, over 50. So check that out. Your Second 50, you got prompts on this video, later on and in the middle of this. So take a look at that. But anyway, back to my point, that lean mass. This is a very important thing that you have to do as a postmenopausal female. All right. This is episode number 5 of the 6 most important things that you have to do. And so put that on the list. Figure out how you have to get the time to do it. It's, again, going back, it's 4 exercises minimum. It doesn't take a lot of time. You could do 1 exercise in the morning and then 1 in the afternoon and then 1 at night and or 2 in the afternoon and 1 at night, and cover that with a couple 10-minute, investments of time. You don't have to be 2 hours in the gym. All right. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, but you have to do that bare minimum. It's no longer an option. It's an imperative for your quality of life right now and also in the future. All right. So episode number 5 in my 6-part series, and what I'm calling the handbook for postmenopausal females, and what do you need to know for the top 6, health issues or complaints, and how to manage them now that you're postmenopause, which is different than when you were younger. Okay. So please, if you're finding this valuable, click subscribe, check out my website, check out my over 50 platform for men and women subscription product. It includes group coaching. It includes all things related to aging well, that are topical issues that most people need information for. And out on the internet, it's almost like caveat emptor, buyer beware. There's a lot of information, but there's a lot of misinformation, and there's a lot of conflicting information, and there's a lot of information that are geared towards different stages of our life. And so I'm doing like the cutting out and giving you the information that's specific to our demographic, which is what's differentiating me, and there are people out there doing it for just women, but nobody that I know of is doing it for men and women both. And I have a lot of clients that will subscribe to my over 50 platform that are married. And so your spouse can use it too. And there's information for the males and there's information for the females. And it's a one-stop shop. So very valuable. Check it out. All right, everybody. So thank you for watching. Always a pleasure to know that you're out there listening to this stuff and that there's this falling on the ears of somebody's going to put it into action. I want to make my second 50 even better than my first 50. I'm 10 years into doing that at 60 years old. I want friends. I want you to be able to do that too. So I have people around me that are equally living vitalized lives in our 80s, 90s, and beyond. So thank you for joining, and I hope to see you on the next one. The next one is number 6 in this series. So check that one out. You want to have all 6 so you can go forward with your guidebook. All right, everybody. Be well until I see you again. And if you would like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.